we present Resurrection Shuffle by Terry Mechan.
That was some night last night. What time did we finish up?
About 3:30. We had to stay out that long to get it buried under the statue whilst no one was about. My mate works as a digger on site, and he told me they were closing bridges to traffic at 2. By the time we'd lifted the edge of the plinth up with a JCB and we managed to get it into a pit, it was well after 3.
It'll never come off. Dreamland stuff.
Well, you never know. Well, it was a laugh anyway. And if it does come off, we'll probably not know anything about it.
Oh yeah? I can just see it now. You lot resurrected in 1,000 years' time to play against... what? Robots United?
Doesn't matter anyway. We had a good night out, and burying the team DNA in a thermos was just for a laugh. No one expects it to work, but I bet no one else has done it.
What else did you put in it?
The team photos on disc, hair and nail offcuts in plastic bags, and a message from the past to the future, saying we all want to meet up again and play in 1,000 years' time.
Crazy sods. Glad I didn't go last night. You all look hungover. How are we supposed to make a fist of beating this lot? You look like big issue sellers on a bad day.
What, Whitesale? We could beat them even if we didn't turn up. They're bottom of the league, and we've already beaten them twice this season.
I'm off to check out the pitch for myself. I'll send in St. John's ambulance to carry you lot on.
Oh, Barker's a miserable old sod sometimes. I mean, he would have enjoyed it last night. He didn't have to join in the DNA party. It was Stoney's idea. It was his birthday after all, and seemed like a good idea at the time. Captaining his team into the future and all that stuff.
Well, I don't know about that, but if we don't get out onto the pitch, we won't have a future.
We could beat them with 9 men anyway.
Beat them with 9 men? You couldn't have beat them with 90 men today. You were hungover like limp washing. How did you expect to get on?
OK, mate, we get the message. You can blame me. The birthday celebrations went on too long last night.
Stoney, you're supposed to be captain of this lot. That means keeping them in shape for the game, not shoving nail clippings under a statue at 3 o'clock in the morning before a big game.
Barker by name and Barker by nature. Leave it out, mate. It was a one-off. There's no real harm done. We'll be back on form next week, you'll see.
Too right, mate. Tomorrow's another day.
Tomorrow's another day? Tomorrow's another day? What's that supposed to mean, you dozy taff? I know tomorrow's another day, but it still don't wipe out the memory of this one. I'm not sure I want to keep playing with you lot if you can't turn up in decent shape for a game.
Look, mate, we're just a pub team, not bleeding Man U. You've been playing with us long enough now to know we like to have a few beers and a laugh. So what's brought on all this fat-faced whinging all of a sudden?
Nothing.
Well, give it a rest then.
Changing the subject. Are we going to do the charity run next month? We did it last year and it was a good day out.
Oh, where is it this year?
Oh, your neck of the woods, mate. Taffyland. Swansea to Mumbles and back. I forgot to mention it last week, but I've provisionally entered us as a team.
If it's anything to do with Mumbles, give it to Barker. That's all he ever does. Mumble, mumble, mumble. Moan, moan, moan.
OK, super wit.
I'm up for it anyway.
OK, I'll email you the details and we'll take it from there.
Anyway, I'm off now. See you later, boys.
See ya. Ta-ra, mate. Always look on the bright side of life.
Bollocks.
What's up with Barks today? I know he moans a bit, but he's not usually that bad.
His missus has done a runner.
What? Pushed off and left him?
Yeah, he told me yesterday. That's why he didn't come out last night.
What about his kids?
She's taken them too.
Well, where's she gone then?
Went off with Larry Westfield.
Westfield? He used to play with us.
Well, now he plays with her.
No wonder he's down in the dumps. He was fast, old Westfield.
Both on and off the field by the looks of it. Told you she'd done a runner.
I like Barks, but he's his own worst enemy sometimes. He's got one hell of a temper, and it's got worse since he came back from Afghanistan. I wouldn't be surprised if his missus just got fed up living on the edge and decided she'd be better off somewhere else.
It's nothing to do with that. She just had no respect for him. Whatever he did, it wasn't good enough for her, and I think over time he's just got really fed up with it. No, deep down he's alright, old Barks. He just married the wrong person.
Well, he might get a second chance because what he doesn't know is I shoved some threads from his sweaty football socks in the DNA flask last night.
So, if it all works out, he'll have something else to moan about.
You crafty sod, KY.
Gotta be done. Anyway, I'm off now as well. Keep me posted about the charity run.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Will do. See you around.
Bestedingsongerust over de economische aspecten.
The economy.
Where did these come from?
Underwater Bristol.
Bristol? I thought it was cordoned off.
Not underwater. They're always picking stuff up off the seabed. Saharan power mirrors, nanofilament machines, all sorts of industrial wreckage. They even found a piece off the old Concorde once. Bristol must have been quite a busy place 1,000 years ago.
How do you know where to look? Got some old plans or something?
You keep your secrets, Johnson, and I'll keep mine.
Professor Johnson, if you don't mind.
Yeah, right.
What have you brought me this time?
I reckon it's early 21st century. It's sealed and it looks like an old tube. It's a bit corroded, but I don't think any water has gotten into it.
Let's have a closer look. Oh, it's got something written on it. CHEMO. Looks like the Moz or something like that. Where exactly did they find it?
Down by the old docks, about 10 feet below the surface. They were pulling an old statue about and this was underneath it.
I'll need to run some lab tests before I can establish a price.
Don't try it on, Johnson. I know the Institute will pay over the odds for anything 1,000 years old. Since the data storage tunnels flooded, they're desperate to get any prehistory back on public view.
Not necessarily. Depends on the committee.
Well, considering you're on the committee and you've had a backhander on everything I've brought you up to now, I can't see that being a problem. Sounds like the women are on the march again. They've been getting very vocal lately. One bunch even attacked the contract regulator's office. You think they'd know that we aren't going back to the old days of lifetime contracts, no matter what?
I hate that lot with a vengeance. Trying to upset the natural order. This is 3020, not some pre-ice melt society. There's no way they're going to get that law changed. It's against our religion for a start. They should stay at home and not interfere in men's business.
Don't you work with a couple at the Institute?
Yeah, Leader and Anderson. They managed to get in before the ban on women professors. I've offered Leader a 1-year emotion contract, but she doesn't want to know.
Maybe it's because your last contract was her sister.
What do you mean by that?
Nothing, but they must have been pretty close. Perhaps she just told this Leader about your views on tough love, shall we say.
My personal life is none of your business, Rago. I know you're not adverse to a bit of contract termination yourself, if the price is right.
Let's stick to the business in hand, shall we? Get a decent price from the Institute and you'll get your share as usual. I just hope they don't find out how much you've been taking off them over the years. Public amputations are not a pretty sight. Not a pretty sight at all.
Don't worry about me. If they find out what you've been up to, you'll have more than your ends chopped off. Before we go into this meeting, Leader, have you thought any more about setting up a rollover contract with physical access? I've put claim in for you at the relationship office. You should be hearing from them soon.
Oh, have you? And who gave you permission to do that? I've told you I'm not interested in living with you, either on a contractual or non-contractual basis. You once had a contract with my sister, so I know what you're like. After the way you treated her, you're the last person I'd want to live with.
Your feelings don't matter. The law says you don't have a choice.
Well, stuff the law. It's a pervert's charter. I'll choose who I want, when I want. I want someone who's going to be kind and understanding, not some cruel bastard like you. I've had 5 contracts forced on me in 5 years. The answer's no. Don't ask again.
Your refusal will go before the relationship council.
You can do what you like. I'll never be interested in people like you. Your views on women are well known. Property. That's all we are to you. Just property. The worst thing that ever happened in this country was to let your religion hold the balance of power. The only reason I can work here today is because of my family connections.
Once relationships have stamped my application, your family connections will mean nothing.
I'm here on business. I'm not discussing this anymore.
Thank you for coming, everyone. When the Institute first opened the Bristol time capsule, we thought we had the usual messages on our hands. Voices across the years, etc. We've had plenty of those before. However, when we opened the packets and decoded the messages, we found something completely different this time. We found positive resurrection requests. As you all know, the anti-resurrection law, better known as the Frankenstein law, prohibited resurrection unless the dead had given prior permission. Permission also had to be given before the law was passed. I can now tell you all that among the Bristol artefacts we found just that. The owners of the DNA sealed in the Bristol tube have asked to be brought back to life. Using recent advances in laminated DNA, we can not only restore these individuals to the same ages as they were when they made their request, we can also make sure they will have the same memories and personalities they had when they stored the DNA in the tube. When we bring them back to life, it will be like their lives have been put on hold. They'll resume life as normal. Well, to them as normal as we can make it.
Chairman, I have to object. In my view, bringing the dead back to life is distasteful and totally wrong. Even if they did give some half-baked prior permission, we're talking of people who have been dead for over 1,000 years. How are they going to cope with exposure to the 31st century? They'll be totally lost here, and I'm very much against such an experiment.
The woman Anderson...
Professor Anderson, if you don't mind, Professor Johnson?
Professor Anderson has forgotten that these people will be held in a strictly controlled environment. They will have network reality chips implanted in them. They will think they are still alive in, 2012, as far as we can make out? They won't know it's 3020. They won't see anything of today, only the world they would have been used to.
And how are our people going to live in this so-called virtual world?
Chip implants for our researchers will be modified. They will be able to interact with the subjects and keep in touch with control.
It's too big a risk and it's unethical.
Well, I'm afraid, Professor Anderson, it's a done deal. The Institute is short of funds, and it's only an experiment like this which will get the attention of the board. In fact, I've already chosen Professor Leader to interact with the resurrectees.
Chairman, this is no job for a woman. I'm much better qualified to lead any foray into the past.
Professor Johnson, I am aware of your strong views on women's role in society, but I would remind you that here in the Institute we have not yet regressed to the female apartheid your party would have us embrace. I have decided who will mix with the resurrectees and who will remain up here in the observation control room. So, the proposal before us is that the Ben Nevis Institute for Scientific Advancement reconstruct members of the Stoke Orchard football team in accordance with their prior permission, and that we observe and interact with them during their resurrected lifespan, however long that might be.
I object.
Objection noted. This meeting is closed. How's the experiment coming on?
Well, Bio have managed to rebuild the bodies, and Neurals are programming the networked history chips for brain implantation. Network chips will enable them to exchange memories and construct probable events from that era. We've done that to see what they would have done after making the resurrection request.
And how are you going to interact with them?
Well, I've had a modified chip implanted in my neural area. I can become part of their reality whenever I switch it on, and everything that they see and say will be captured live by the project team up here.
Clever, but dangerous. What happens if the chip fails?
Well, we can put the subjects to sleep immediately, pending a resolution of the problem.
I mean dangerous for you.
It's a risk I'm willing to take just to be part of it.
Are they awake yet? Where are you keeping them anyway?
Not yet. We're waiting for the holographic suite to be completed before we bring them round. It's quite complicated having to house so many subjects at the same time, each with different memories, personalities and outlooks on life. That, together with the need to maintain visual feedback of where they think they are, is causing us some project delays, but I think we'll get there.
How many people are we bringing back to life?
Well, as far as we can tell, there are about 11 different sets of DNA in the capsule. We plan to bring back 3 of them at first and add more later.
And what do we know about them?
Well, according to the note they left in the Moz, they were friends who decided it'd be good if they could be resurrected in the future and meet up again.
Except to them, it won't be in the future. To them, it would still be the early 21st century. When did they die in real life? I mean, their first life. Here, this gets confusing, doesn't it?
We don't have that information. Remember, they will only have memories of their lives from birth up to when they buried their DNA. They'll be reborn from that moment in time.
What's the plan for these people in the future? Do we put them back to sleep or what?
No, the plan is to let them live out their physical lives in the hollow arena. The ethics committee thought euthanasia was a step too far after bringing them back to life. Depending on how things go, we might even bring them up with us to join the 31st century.
I'm not so sure that would be a good idea. How would we adapt to life 1,000 years from today? So much has changed since that lot were first alive. We're all, nearly all the same colour now. But in early 21st century Bristol, there were all sorts. Black, white, brown. You could tell ancestry by just looking at people. But now we're just one homogeneous mass.
Not all. There's still a few who have held out.
Not many, that's for sure. And colour prejudice against white still runs deep.
Well, let's not go there. I know your views on race and I don't want to go over old ground.
OK, forget about people. But just look at the way the country has changed. Nearly all the coastal areas they knew are underwater, and the technology we have now is literally out of this world. People on Mars, lifts into space, unlimited solar energy beamed down by microwave. We've got tunnel trains now that run from London to Sydney in 3 hours. In fact, you can get to New York in an hour from Aviemore, using the new Atlantic Tunnel route.
Yes, and now we allow women to be kept as property in large sections of our society. Not much advancement there.
You know we've got to keep the T-ban on board if this country is not to descend into civil war again. It's not enforced everywhere.
It's the law. It is enforceable, and it's slavery. Simple as that. Slavery. I've had that creep Johnson after me for months for an emotional contract, and now he's threatening me with the relationship council. A bunch of thugs they are.
Well, you're going to have to work with him on this project, so you'll have to make the best of it.
OK, I'm going down to the holographic stadium now to make my first contact with the subjects. They've been seeded with a memory cell from Stoner, the apparent leader of the group. The event took place after the DNA was harvested, but the memory was etched beforehand. They'll think they're attending a charity event in Swansea, which used to be a city in Wales.
They used to have a Millennium Stadium in Wales. Perhaps we should give ours the same name.
That was Cardiff, not Swansea. And anyway, our arena is on Ben Nevis, so I'm not sure where that leaves us.
How are you going to stop them from seeing you go in?
Well, they'll be living in their own virtual world, controlled by the DNA resurrection programme. I need to go in now, actually, and get this started.
There's a fair old crowd here today. Even Barker's turned up. I thought you said he wasn't coming.
Well, when it comes to charity, he's not a bad old stick. Always turns up for this one anyway. His auntie died of it. Breast cancer, I mean.
What time do we kick off?
We start from the Queen's at 12 and then run along the seafront to Mumble's lifeboat station. It's about 10 miles there and
10 minutes back, because I'm catching the bus.
And when we get there, we'll hand over the cheque, a few pints in the yacht club, and then
back on the bus.
What's with this back on the bus, Jonah? You need to run both ways, mate. Get some of that tonnage off you.
Pot, kettle, black calling. Put those words in the right order next time you look in the mirror.
What's that humming noise?
What humming noise?
Can't you hear it? Sounds like machinery all around us.
Must be the TV generators. They're always here to cover this event. I can't hear anything myself.
Turn up the network control chip on number 4. Increase inhibit external environment mode.
Look, Barks, sorry to hear about you and Emma.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Sorry I sounded off last Saturday. It was just playing on my mind, that's all. Losing her and the kids in one hit was almost more than I could take. I still don't know why she left. I still can't get my head around it. She had everything with me. She didn't want for money or anything else. Put her on a bloody pedestal I did, and she buggers off with that tosser Westfield. Never worked in his life, in and out of jail. I didn't want my kids brought up by someone like that. When I find out where they've gone, he's bloody had it.
Look, mate, I know you. You've got one hell of a temper. But slamming him around isn't going to get her back. You've got to move on. From what you've told me, she gave you a dog's life anyway. I've known you since we were kids. And I'll tell you now, the Barks I know disappeared soon after you got married. Whatever you did wasn't good enough for her. She just took a delight in winding you up, no matter what you did. And you just got more and more unhappy with it over the years.
Yeah, I know. But it's still hard to take when you come home to an empty house after all this time. Anyway, I'm sorry for taking it out on you guys.
That's no problem. What are mates for? Don't forget, when one door shuts, another one opens. Plenty of talent here today, if you fancy a diversion to take your mind off things.
Thanks, but no thanks. There might still be a chance that Em and I will get back together. So I'll just keep my head down for a while, mate.
You getting all this in operations?
Yes, it's coming over okay. But what's he talking about? Talent? Sounding off? Diversions? It doesn't make sense to me.
You forget these people are speaking slanguage. It's his way of saying to his friend that he should get a new partner and choose from the people here today.
Is Johnson here? What happened to his old partner?
In reality, she died about 900 years ago. But in here, in today's experiment, I don't know the answer.
Just proves my case for yearly rollover contracts.
Oh, sod off.
Hang on, Barks. Looks like your look's changed. Have you seen what's coming our way?
Fine pair of pens, I must admit.
Look at the jugs on that. Don't get many to those in the pound, I bet.
Why is she talking to herself? She must be with the radio crew.
She'll be wired with a body mic so she can run and speak at the same time. She can come over here and interview me anytime.
Any time looks like now, mate.
Are you people taking part in today's run?
That's right, love. We come here every year for the same event.
Where are you from?
Mostly Bristol. We all play for the same football team. Jonah here comes from Swansea, so he's coming home, so to speak. What about yourself?
I live nearby. I'm a researcher.
And what do you research?
People. I'm an anthropologist.
No point in you hang around here with Barker, then. He's not a people, he's an animal.
Oi, watch it, mate. Take no notice of him. He's from Swansea. What's your name, then?
Leader.
Take me to your leader.
Not leader. Leader. L-E-D-A. I was named after one of the moons of Jupiter.
I'm John Barker. This is Mike Stoner, Stoney, John Jones, Jonah. And the human barrel over there is Martin Province, also known as KY.
Stoney and Jonah I can work out, but why KY?
Best not go there, love. Yeah, you've got a bit of an accent yourself. What is it? Norwegian or something?
No, it's just my way of talking. Mind if I join you? I've got to get some research done on this event, and you might be able to help me along the way.
No probs, love. You just tag along and ask away. You won't get much of an answer. The beer and the fags will see to that.
Here we go, boys. Another day, another $1.
Ask them what they're talking about. We can't understand half of what they're saying up here.
I'll debrief you later.
I like the sound of that. Who are you talking to?
Oh, it's a two-way link with our studios.
Come on, boys. We're getting left behind.